All right, what's up, fellas? It's Mark Parson, Cornerback Pro. I'm a former NFL cornerback of the Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints, and now I'm coaching you guys up. All right, so we're going to talk about the slot. I had a guy comment or email me, I forgot which one, about how to guard the slot. Now, here's the thing. I played a lot of nickel back, right? I played nickel in college at Ohio University, and I played nickel in Houston Texans. I felt comfortable in nickel. But I'm gonna let you know it is very difficult, especially if you're going against very crafty guys. I went against Jacoby Jones for the most part a lot, and man, that dude's really fast and quick. But there's the thing about slot receivers don't necessarily have to be that fast. They have a couple things that they can do, and I'm gonna talk about an option route. So an option route, depending on what play they have, an option route they can be in a slot, and let's say they feel you inside, they can go outside. So like they can choose which one they want to do depending on where you are. Let's say you're outside, they can possibly break inside on an inside breaking route. So they have more options. But there's certain things that we cannot give up. There's certain things that we can still rally to and make a play on the ball. But there's certain things we cannot give up. And the thing about that is that it's usually outside breaking route because we need to be outside shade. And I'm going to talk about it, okay? Make sure you guys email me, cornerbackpro@gmail.com. Get the one-on-one mastery so you can see the techniques we're going to talk about so you can know how to practice it. Because at the end of the day, we can still, when we're pressing, we're going to talk about off. But when we're pressing, it's the same thing at the end of the day. So my press, because remember when I posted that video about the Oklahoma safety? I know it's his highlights. And this is going to be his highlights. He played at Southern Miss. But we still can do our thing on the press man, right? So, I mean, stand square, and you're going to see how it does translate to playing off as well. But stand square, shuffling, getting striking, and making it hard for him to get off the line and making him bow it out because it still messes up the timing. So we're going to go over that. Let's get it. All right, we're down in the red zone. Eyes. And you got to finish. So there's a drill that we can work on when it comes to trailing, right? Because I want you to understand this. I'm going to let it play first. Understand, I know it's one-on-ones, but understand usually what the scheme is, what the coach wants you to do. Notice how all the guys, for the most part, not all of them, you'll notice that, but they're supposed to move to the outside shade, even if they're off. So they may start inside, but they move to the outside. It's because there's nobody else out there on the outside. We usually got a single high safety, right? So we're coming up as a nickel or as a safety coming down to play man, and there's a single high safety. Sometimes, you got a hole player as linebackers. So the coach wants us to be outside shade. There's different techniques, but at the end of the day, like right there, he got. So we're going to talk about it. You notice how the guys, and this is at Southern Miss practice again. So he's running right into the single high safety. So understand that. And we know it's one-on-ones. But we still need to be there to possibly make a play on that, even on that post route. See right there? We're in the red zone, is a little bit different. Notice right here. So we got to learn how to protect our leverage. You see that? That can't happen. So let's watch it. Because at the end of the day, look, there's certain coverages that offenses will run against our defensive scheme. And you know what? You got to rally to it, make the tackle, and fight to make a play on it. But there's certain things we cannot give up. So in the slot, it doesn't matter if you're playing outside. I mean, a press man. I always talk about press man in the slot, especially if he has an inside, a very tight split. All right, because most likely, I'm not saying it's going to happen every time, but most likely it's outside breaking route. That's money. This right here can't happen, and this is bad eyes. Let's watch it. Eyes. Look, where is he looking? You know what I'm saying? So look, we got outside leverage. This is our leverage. We should be all over this. But our eyes are bad. What happens is completion. Let's see if he finishes though. I like the finish. Oh, he almost did. So same thing right here. Eyes. Understand what leverage. So when he runs an out, we're playing off in the slot. And that's another thing. I know I talk about playing on the outside, playing cornerback. We talk about reading a 3-step, 5-step. It's too tough to do that inside, especially if he has a super tight split. So you can stare at the receiver. Just literally stare at the receiver's hips the whole way. So your eyes are glued to the receiver on this. All right. Now, outside shade. Okay. So when we're outside leverage, like on that corner route, like right here, bam. if his eyes are glued to the receiver, he's all over that. He's going to pick that out off because you're protecting your outside leverage. And this is really good right here. He does a good job right here. What happens? Eyes. Same old story. So what he does is he starts off inside leverage, and then he shuffles to the outside. So there's good press. Stay square. Bam. He's on him. Now, the drill I was talking about, there's a drill that I posted. I don't know if I posted it. But where, and you can practice this. You can practice this where it's not even a full speed drill. Just have a receiver jog, and then you're on his hip, right? So you're on his hip. You can actually have your hand on his hip. So when he drops, so he's jog, and then he breaks, and then he drops his hips. You do the same thing. Drops his hips. Eyes need to stare at his hips, because what happens is it's the same thing in press. If our eyes is up in his head or his shoulder pads, and he got a little sauce to him, boom, boom, boom. So just like that, he makes you feel like he's gonna move this way, and then he comes back out. So you gotta make sure. And the guys in this video are actually looking back to the quarterback a little way too early, anyways. Man, have your eyes on his hips, man. Especially a guy like, they call him, they say Wes Welker, wide receiver mode. Wes Welker wasn't the fastest guy. He was not. He was small, but his motor was crazy. And man, you should have seen it, man. His routes are crazy too, man. And he had a good connection with Tom Brady. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He could just get open. And Tom, when he knew it. I watched a lot of film of him. So eyes on his hips, you can practice that drill. You can even, let's say, so you can go straight down the line. Let's say you just practicing the drill, and he breaks his hips, you break your hips. When he drops your hip, you drop your hips. And you have your hands on his waist. Then let's say you're jogging, and then he can give you a little sauce at the end, and then go this way, and then you can stare at his hips, and then you can undercut it, and do the outside too. Practice that over and over again so you can get used to guarding these guys. All right, so again, we're playing off. We can stare at the receiver, eyes glued to him. Make sure we're not looking at his head or his shoulder pads. Make sure we're looking at his waist. We want to get to the outside shade. We want to. Now, with that being said, well, like Coach Mark, he just did it. He just did it. What happened? Let me show you what happened. Just like I talk about in press man. What happens if we turn and run too early? What's the beauty of the shuffle? The beauty of the shuffle allows you to recover. So watch this. Watch him turn and run way too early when he doesn't even have to. Watch this. Turn and run. You see what I'm saying? Man, if he would have just took at least one more shuffle, he could have recovered and been closer to rally to that. You have no chance outside man in the red zone. I mean, inside. I'm sorry. You have no chance. You have none. Unless, I take that back. It's tough. I would outside shade, especially if he's that tight to the split. I mean, tight to look how close he is to the quarterback. Like right here. You don't have a chance, man. I talk about it at corners when you're on the outside. If they got a tight split, look how far inside of the numbers he is. Man, if I was a receiver, I would run an outside breaking. I mean, 5 yard out, 10 yard out. This money. That's money all day. So give yourself a chance. Right here. Look at this. Now he does kind of move to the he didn't move all the way to the outside. Right here. Look at this. We're in the red zone. And you're going to press like that? You can't press inside right here. I'm telling you. And that's just bad press technique. So he has to get the techniques. Let me show you right here. So we got to work on the techniques. And that's why I offer you the techniques. It doesn't matter if you're safety. It doesn't matter if you're corner, nickelback, and sometimes linebacker when you got to come up and press. The technique's going to help you, man. Even if you weren't even, let's say you weren't even outside shade. But if you got really good technique and you know how to align, you can still get money, all right? But I highly recommend outside shade. I remember there's a video of my boy EJ Frame and who was the other video of? Oh, man. One of my homies is going to college. Dang, I can't think of your name right now. But we posted a video. Guys were in the slot, outside shade. They did strike and get back to balance and kick step. Man, you can make money outside shade. Now look how far inside he is. So we talk about that. And I was going to make another video about that. Look, if you're I went to a blue and gray combine the other day, right? So that's a camp and combine for guys who want to get recruited to play college ball. We're at the Redskins facility. Look, man, The only time you're going to be really hard inside like these guys is if you're in cover 2 man for the most part, because you're going to be forced to open up the gate, meaning he's going to have a free release. That's easy. He likes that. So remember what I said when you're lying. You got to make sure his inside eye is splitting your feet, right? Like you're splitting right here in the middle of it. He's too far inside. Look at it. He has no chance. It's hard to shuffle right there. He's gonna have to open up and run him money outside breaking route. So this is just technique. This is just regular press technique that we're talking about and how to improve. You got, you don't want to hop, and then right here, got to get used to having that hand on the hip possibly, but at least having your eyes right. Little sauce at the end. Practice that over that. See, so it's the same thing that's translating from our press technique, even playing off. Understand what we're taking away, and understand what we need to rally to. You can't hop, even in the press. Usually when you hop, your eyes are bad. You see that? So that's not a shuffle. It's too high in a shuffle, and then it's a hop more so than anything. Depending on your technique in the slot, I know one of my coaches, my boy Irv, he talks about the scooch technique. Some other, depends. But at the end of the day, I highly recommend outside shade, especially down here. Look, you have no chance. There is none. And me personally, corners, nickels, and safeties, I'd rather in the nickels in the slot, and I'll let it run again. I want you to see it again as I'm talking. Finish. In the slot, I'd rather come up and press and let the corner on the outside play off man. Because remember, you don't want to be, depending on how close they are, their alignment, you don't want to both be at the same level when it comes to pressing or playing off. You want to be vice versa. You want to be alternate. So I always thought it was easier to come up and press and get my hands on those guys early. But if you're gonna play off, depending on that's what your coach wants you to do, again, understand what you're taking away. They cannot get money on you running outside breaking routes. So this is actually decent coverage right here. He just got to, at the top of the stem, he has to work on that drill that we talk about. And then he has to make sure he works on his press technique. Now, he has a decent finish. But working your press technique, and that's what I provide for you in the one-on-one mastery. You safeties and nickels and corners, because sometimes corners you're gonna be what we call we call it Connie, corners over in certain coverages. But you can't hop. You gotta have your eyes right. Get used to shuffling more so than what? Opening it up and running too early. Because you're gonna get got. Eyes. Good finish though. Eyes. Look, outside shade, outside leverage. We got it. That's our pick. Our pick is on the outs, the corners, right here. That's good coverage at the beginning. Decent coverage, but we're not finishing, man. Don't open up and run. So it's the same thing. I highly recommend you guys definitely practice that. That drill I talk about where you're jogging behind a guy when he drops his hips, you drop your hips, you can have your hand on his hip. I think I did post that, right? Yeah, I did post that. So go through to my channel and find that video. We were at University of Richmond, intramural fields. We're practicing that. But understand what we cannot give up. We cannot give up outside breaking route. And right here, you have no chance. You have none. And don't line up too far, even if you are outside shade. Eyes on his waist. You gotta work on our techniques. Even if you are outside or outside shade in your press or inside shade, you cannot line too far outside because then they're gonna have their way with you. They can just get right into the route. With the goal at the end of the day in press man is to do what we talk about all the time. You're gonna get some guys. I saw a high school clip of one guy just getting jammed all the way into the sideline. Hey, you're gonna get somebody sorry that that happened. Oh, sorry about that. You're going to get somebody sorry? Yeah, that can happen. Going against good receivers, all right? That's not so understand the whole point is to disrupt the timing of the quarterback and the receiver, and then understand what you're taking away. Okay, guys? Make sure you guys email me at cornerbackpro@gmail.com. This is how to guard the slot. We're going to do more footage like this so you can improve your skills every single day. Get the program. Peace.